host, Alan Tracy.
I'm your other host, Rahana Power.
And this week we'll be talking about movie gift ideas.
I love that I love this topic for this time of year, so this is going to be really fun, Alan.
Yeah, I think we have some interesting ideas for you guys today. But first, Rahana.
We've got an exciting movie decade battle for you this week. So I've decided this week we are going to talk about a couple of years that I think had a couple decent movies thrown in there. I mean, it's nothing like super crazy, but I don't know. We'll see. we'll see. I'm excited about this battle, if you will. So we're going to talk 2003 versus 2013. So a couple of these I haven't seen. Shocker to the world. So Alan, I'm going to be relying on hopefully your expertise with these.
Okay.
We'll start. So the number 10 highest grossing film worldwide of 2003 was Bad Boys 2.
Oh, wow.
Which was a fun one. And in 2013, number 10 was Thor: The Dark World.
Yes.
Now, we all know what I'm going to do because I'm predictable. But what do you think?
Well, I think you're going to pick Thor, but...
I mean, naturally, yeah.
Man, Bad Boys 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Again, just to disagree with you, I'm going with Bad Boys 2.
I love that. Oh, man.
But the reason, it's a really action-packed film and way over the top.
But fun.
Will Smith and Martin Lawrence, yeah.
Yeah, I really like them together. Even like the most recent Bad Boys movie that they did, I thought was a lot of fun. Like, I really enjoyed it.
I did not see that one.
Alan! Yet. It's so good. It really is.
I'm sure it's streaming somewhere by now, but...
Oh, that's a good point.
I'll have to look into it.
Yeah, I hope it is. Yeah, it's really fun. I think that those two just have incredible chemistry together, obviously. Mm-hmm. So yeah, watching them is all sorts of fun. Okay. So I can totally understand that choice, 100%. Hopping over to number 9, highest grossing film in 2003 was X2, which, as a reminder to everyone, was an X-Men movie. And number 9 in 2013 was Man of Steel.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
A little comic book rivalry
Exactly.
here.
So that's kind of fun. I like it when that happens.
Right.
So,
Marvel DC again.
Right. So X2 was one of the ones with the older X-Men cast. We had Wolverine, Storm, all of them. As a reminder, since they sort of got super crazy and fun with it after a while and had a couple different dimensions of X-Men. But
yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think?
I'm going Man of Steel. I think Superman and Batman are kind of just generally my favorite types of movies, generally speaking.
Yep.
But yeah, I just Man of Steel is a lot darker. I think we mentioned that before in a different something, but yeah, that's my pick.
I agree with you. I know that there are people who don't like Man of Steel and don't like the direction that those most recent DC movies went. I really liked them. I also love Henry Cavill and plan on marrying him someday. So that, also might play a part. Him or Chris Evans. So that definitely probably makes me a little biased. But I just think he does a really good job in that role. I thought it was a lot of fun. And remind me, Man of Steel, is that the one with Michael Shannon?
Man of Steel, Michael Shannon.
Or was that...
He was in Batman versus Superman.
That one, okay. I remembered it was one of those two. I couldn't remember exactly which one, though. But yeah, I just really enjoy it. And when it comes to the X-Men movies, I actually enjoy like the younger cast, which sounds shitty, but you know what I mean? Like I enjoyed that group of people together and the storylines that they took those movies rather than the original movies. That's not to say that,
Actually, yes, Michael Shannon was in Man of Steel. My bad.
was he? There we go.
Yeah.
I mean, who doesn't love Michael Shannon? He's brilliant.
Right.
Beyond brilliant.
I just saw him in a movie,
Ooh.
Knives Out.
Oh, he's so good in that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's a fantastic movie. If
Really
anyone...
funny lines he's got too.
Yeah. It is. It's amazing how that movie is actually like really funny for being actually such a dark and twisted like situation. Like it's so good.
It's kind of like zany, if you will. Don't
Yeah.
you think?
Yes.
But anyways,
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, Man of Steel. So the number 8 highest grossing film in 2003 was The Matrix Revolutions,
oh
which remind me, is that the third one?
yeah,
Okay. And then in 2013 was Gravity.
wow,
Sandra Bullock.
Okay,
That's a heavy hitter.
yeah. I like that movie.
Yeah.
Wow, 2 good films. I of course am quite biased.
No.
Definitely Matrix Revolutions. It took me time to appreciate it.
Yeah.
Because I remember after Reloaded how excited I was for this sequel, and then later I was just a little disappointed in how it ended.
Yeah. Well, we're getting another one, so.
Right. Well, maybe.
Oh, hopefully.
Yeah. But I know, what was it? I was there like opening day at like the biggest screen I could find in town. So.
Oh, yeah.
And it was just like, yeah, it was amazing to be that excited and then let down, maybe. I don't know.
Right, yeah. That's understandable, though. I think when something that big and monumental, whether it's like that movie series or even like a TV show, like Game of Thrones or something, like, you know, expectations build so high that it's almost, it's just not reasonable to have that same expectation for the very end to wrap it all up. But at the same time, you know, you set the expectation for yourself.
Yeah.
So I think that's understandable. Yeah, I think I didn't get into the Matrix movies until later. I was a little behind on that. And even now, like I love the first one. I've seen the second and the third one. I don't think I've seen them more than once. I remembered liking them. I don't remember loving them. I probably have to go back and rewatch, but I loved Gravity when I saw that.
Right. Yeah, it had me holding my breath for
Yes.
a lot of it.
Right?
Yeah.
And I feel like a movie that does that to you, like that's something big. You know, that's a huge impact. So I'm going to go with Gravity.
Yeah. Good choice.
Yeah. This next matchup is underwhelming to me. But I've also not seen either of these movies. So this will be a heavy one for you. So the number 7 movie in 2003 was Terminator 3: Rise of the Machines. Sure. The number 7 highest grossing film in 2013 was Monsters University. Which are vastly different films.
Yeah. R and G.
Yeah,
Or maybe
exactly.
it was PG. I don't know.
Probably G.
Yeah. I think gosh, yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, like I don't even know what Terminator 3 was.
Is
Is it still with Schwarzenegger?
yeah, that was like a return of Schwarzenegger. It had
Oh, Claire Danes
who
is in
was-
it.
You're right.
Oh,
Who was
snap.
John Connor? That was
John Connor is Nick Stahl.
Stall, yeah, okay.
which, sure. I've seen
I-
one Terminator movie, and it was the most recent one, so it's not even logical for the rest of the story.
It was alright, because it kind of said, like, it was kind of that piece between, what was the other term? Salvation, and, like, Terminator 2, so it was almost like the bridge to that.
Okay.
So it just basically showed that, you know, you can't escape fate, basically. So,
Right.
the point was not to save him, but to, you know, or save the world, per se, but to at least save John Connor. So.
Right. Okay.
It was, but I guess my see that's kind of a letdown.
Yeah.
So, and I like that they had like you know, a badass female Terminator in that. But I guess, you know, I like Monsters University a little better. So
Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, I haven't seen either. I would probably go with Monsters University, I'm guessing. But
Yeah.
it's a wash for me.
Yeah.
Okay, number 6. Again, these two are very different movies. In a different way. So number 6 highest grossing film of 2003 was The Last Samurai. With your boy Tom Cruise.
that's right.
And then
That's
the sixth highest grossing film of 2013 was Fast and the Furious 6. So basically the same movie, right?
yeah.
Oh, man. As we all know, not a huge Tommy C guy. I have not seen The Last Samurai. Yeah, Tommy C. I've been told it's a really good movie and I've got to watch it, but like, I can't take his face seriously with that storyline. I can't do it. And maybe that's just me being shitty. That's entirely possible. I acknowledge that. I'm going to go with Fast and Furious 6, even though I genuinely don't remember much about it. I'm assuming this one included Ludacris, and I love Ludacris with all my heart. So that's how I'm going to go with that one.
Yes, he was in that. You're
See?
right.
Boom. That's all you need. Just a little Luda.
Well, for me, it was definitely Fast and Furious 6, but I mean, The Last Samurai, they totally whitewashed that, but
Exactly.
it for their star, but I appreciated the film for what it was. It did introduce me to Hans Zimmer with those drums and everything, and,
Ooh, yeah.
which I loved. I was just kind of like, who is this? I was more
Right.
interested in, like, who's doing this score, you know?
Yeah. Which
But,
is awesome. Because
you're
that
right.
doesn't usually get like necessarily as much, focus as other portions of the film, even though it's
Right.
such a huge part of it. So that's awesome.
Yeah. And Fast and Furious 6 has Michelle Rodriguez, so
Yeah.
you know I'm all about that. And
There you go.
Dwayne Johnson's first. I think this was his first. I can't remember.
Oh, was it? I mean,
And
there's
then-
been 37, so who knows?
Gal Gadot is in this? Wow. Okay.
I know. That was my introduction to her. I love her. She's fantastic, just in general, like as a
Yeah.
human being. But
This
yeah.
was Hobbs before the Shaw, so
There you go. All right, so we both go Fast and Furious 6. Okay,
yeah, Justin Lin film. Yeah.
I like it. So number 5, again, these are totally the same movie. In 2003, the 5th highest grossing film was Bruce Almighty.
Mm-hmm.
In 2013, it was Hunger Games Catching Fire.
Oh, Catching Fire. Come on.
Right? Like, don't get me wrong. I loved Bruce Almighty. That gave us like a little mini introduction into. I shouldn't say that. This did not give us the introduction into Steve Carell. But for some people, like myself, who maybe had not seen like 40-year-old version and all those things, like it did. like that was, I think, my first introduction to him because I hadn't watched
I think you're
The
thinking
Office.
Evan Almighty.
No, because he had a tiny part in Bruce Almighty, and that's why they made
Really?
Evan Almighty. Yeah, it's why they made Evan Almighty is because of what he did with the character in Bruce Almighty.
What did he play in?
He played Evan. So he was
Okay.
his character like was new to the station or something like that, and got the anchor position or something like that. And then when Bruce had, the powers of God.
Oh, right. He made
like,
him do
yes.
those voices. That's right.
Yes. And that's why they made the spin-off sequel, Evan Almighty.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
okay,
like-
I remember now. Okay.
So, I mean, that was huge. Like, that was fantastic. But I'm obsessed with Hunger Games, and, Jennifer Lawrence is my girl, so I'm going to go with that.
Yeah.
1,000,000%. Okay, so this next one I think is a little tougher. I mean, it's not, but it is. Because they're two really good movies with two amazing franchises for two very different reasons. So in 2003, the number 4 movie was Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl. In 2013, it was The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug. Smaug, whatever.
Right.
Yeah. Two big franchises, two, big films, casts, everything. Like, it's, unreal.
So
But
you got Desolation of Smog, and what was the first one?
The Curse of the Black Pearl.
Black Pearl. Okay.
Yeah. Which, was that the first one? I think the Black Pearl was the first one, wasn't it?
No, I don't think so. I don't know.
I could be wrong. Yeah.
Well, I will have to go with Desolation of Smog. Benedict Cumberbatch's voice of the dragon was good.
Right. Yes.
Just interesting little talk with the dragon
Yeah.
in a mountain of gold.
No kidding. Yeah, we just recently, I shouldn't say recently, towards the beginning of quarantine and everything, we rewatched all of Lord of the Rings and all of The Hobbit. And I was like, man, I forgot how brilliant this is. Like, every aspect of the movie, it's just fantastic. And yeah, I agree. Cumberbatch as a dragon was amazing. He's my second favorite dragon since Sean Connery was Draco in Dragonheart. Yeah, that's right. So yeah, I'm gonna go with The Hobbit as well. Okay, so, and I did not realize that these two movies came out in the same year. So this is interesting. Number 3, the highest grossing film in 2003 was The Matrix Reloaded.
Aha.
Interesting. So The Matrix had 2 movies in the top 10.
That's
in
right.
1 year.
They tent-poled that year. That's right.
So Matrix Reloaded for 2003, and in 2013 we have Despicable Me 2.
Reloaded.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. Did you enjoy Reloaded more than Revolutions?
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah. It was like geez. I can't put this any more politely. It was like Matrix porn. It was just like
yeah.
it was just like all the things you wish you could see happened,
Yeah.
It's just like, yes, more of this, please,
For sure.
Just, everything you hoped from the first Matrix, you kind of got in Reloaded, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm with you on that. Matrix Reloaded all the way for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, next one is number 2. In 2003 was Finding Nemo, which was a big movie at the time, so it's understandable.
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah. Big kids movie. In 2013, it was Iron Man 3.
Well,
Yeah.
now, this is really funny to me because when both of these came out, I did not see them for a very long time.
Really?
Yes. Nemo was probably the longest one I hadn't seen for like 6 years, and everyone loved it, and I hadn't seen it, and everyone's like,
Yeah.
it's like that one movie that you didn't see. And then same with the third Iron Man. I liked the first two,
Yep.
but for some reason I just didn't have time in 2013 to see Iron Man 3.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
For sure. I mean, you were too busy rewatching The Hobbit and Hunger Games.
Wait, what? Yeah, those didn't catch on until later either, as we discussed in 2015.
Yep.
But I will go with Iron Man 3
Yeah.
since I have now seen both of them.
Yeah, I would agree. I feel like I've been very open about the fact that anything Marvel is pretty much going to top almost anything else for me. It'll have to be a really tough matchup to not. So yeah, I will go with Iron Man 3 for sure as well. All right, so the number one, I think this matchup is ridiculous. Like, I love both movies. I'm going to throw it out there, but it's a ridiculous matchup. The highest grossing film in 2003 was Lord of the Rings: Return of the King.
Mm-hmm.
The highest grossing film in 2013 was Frozen. Which is unfortunate because I love Frozen. I love the second one. I love the first one. I love it. I am a child about it, and I don't care who knows it. I love Frozen.
Yeah.
But, like, it's Lord of the Rings. I mean, come on. Like, it can't compare to that.
Right.
You know? So I have to go with the Lord of the Rings, but I'll sing the Frozen songs in my head while I go with that. So.
Yeah.
There we go. What do you think?
Same here.
Yeah.
Yes. Lord of the Rings: Return of the King.
Yeah. All right. Okay. I feel like that was a decent battle. I feel like every battle we've done so far has had a couple really, like, one or two really good matchups, and then one or two really, like, ridiculous matchups.
Right.
It just
Given
don't
our
make
preferences, it's very
right.
Interesting what was popular in one decade over the other.
Yeah, absolutely. But
Very interesting.
fun.
But I guess both James Bond, Tom Cruise,
Yeah.
Marvel, DC, these things seem to be consistent.
Yep. They're popping up in almost
The
every
top
one
10.
that we've had so far, which has
Yeah.
been interesting.
Yeah,
That's what the audience wants.
I guess so.
For now.
We're the same.
Yeah. So that is our movie decade battle. And then, so this week, we're recording right around Thanksgiving. It's going to come out right around Thanksgiving. And there aren't really Thanksgiving movies. Like, there's a couple. Like, I think Planes, Trains, and Automobiles might be one or something like that. And there might be, like, one other one that I'm just not aware of. But it's not really a thing. So it's not necessarily, a film genre we can go over. But I think with how things have been going this year, it's been a hard year on everybody. And especially with, the holidays coming up, it's getting colder and things are starting to severely ramp up again. And so we're going back inside. Regulations are becoming tighter again. What did you say that the term was for this again, Alan? We talked about this before.
Dial back, Minnesota.
Dial back, Minnesota. Hey, by the way, everybody, dial back. Yeah, so with that, I think that it's really easy for us, and I am extremely guilty of this, to just get really bogged down in like the negative or the sadness or the upsetness of everything that is going on, everything that has happened, everything we expect to happen, and just the situation overall. But since it's around Thanksgiving, this is also the time, not that there's ever a time when we shouldn't do this, but where we should really think about what we're thankful for. A lot of people have been asking me lately, what are you thankful for that's happened this year? And it's been a hard question, honestly. Like, it's been a really tough year, but I think that it's really important that we think about it. So one, while everyone's listening, I thoroughly encourage you to think on this and try and think about some positive things that have happened to you this year, or positive things that have come out of this year that will lead to positive things for you in your life. And then Alan, that's sort of my question for you is, what are you thankful for this year outside of all of the craziness?
Well, I'm thankful for my health, number one. Thankful for my family's health and safety. I guess, just having that baseline security of your health is all the more important to appreciate, I think, given where we're at.
Yeah.
But as far as like other things, grateful to have a job, grateful to have, friends I can connect with, being able to do this podcast.
Yeah.
That's hopefully something bright for people, or at least, something good, hopefully.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful that with all that, I was able to finish my film, things like that.
Yes.
And maybe we'll get to that in a future podcast episode. So,
I hope so.
Yeah.
I have all the questions for you about it.
Yeah.
I think that's great. And I completely agree with you and echo what you said about, so we're always happy for or thankful for our health and our family's health, but especially this year, I think it's so evident how key that is.
Right.
And I completely echo all of that. Everything.
Yeah. What else are you thankful for, Rahana?
All of the things you just said, without, making everyone listen to me repeat them, all of that for sure. And then I've been thinking a lot about it, and I've realized that this year, being inside and really just being sort of secluded from everything that we're used to and everyone that we're used to has allowed me the opportunity to really think about, internally, like work on me, which is not something that I think a lot of people necessarily spend a lot of time on. One, because we are so busy trying to spend time on other people or other things and all this stuff, that it's easy to sort of drop that. And sometimes it's, scary, or we don't want to, or whatever. But I think I've done that, and I've become more honest with myself. And for myself, like with other people on my own behalf. And it's led to me sort of standing up for myself in a way. Just in everyday situations or in all sorts of different places where I normally, that's not my personality, even though I would like it to be. And I'm great. I'm really thankful for that something like this has come out of the year. So.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah.
Exciting. Yeah. That's good.
And I'm thankful that I had the opportunity to go and see Tenet this year in a movie theater.
Yes. In a movie theater. That's exceptionally rare this year.
It is.
And it might be hard to get to one ever again, perhaps.
It genuinely might, which is really scary.
Right. So imagine like you have to drive 25 miles to go to a movie theater. That could be a very real thing in the near future.
Yeah.
So, along with our movie gift ideas, we have the idea, Rohanna.
Yeah.
What is that idea?
We think it's really prevalent this year, especially to support our local movie theaters. It's like I have a little movie theater that's less than a block away from my apartment, and usually over the last couple of years, we would walk down the street once a week and go see a movie. Quite literally once a week, I would see a movie. It's one of my favorite things to do. I love it. It makes me so happy. Whether it's, going in and buying the ticket and knowing the kids that are working there because it's, it's a local thing and it's a 2-screen theater. Like it's a small theater. And getting the popcorn so I'll get popcorn. I'll get a big popcorn and then I'll buy M&Ms and I'll put the M&Ms in the popcorn and then I'll eat it that way.
You do that,
amazing.
huh?
I totally do that. And so yes, it's expensive, but it's like a little treat for myself. And, I want this theater to stay here. So I'm supporting them.
Yeah.
And, it's in the winter, so I don't have to drive there. I can just walk there and these things. But they've been closed really since March. They opened up for like 2 weeks at one point when things were really looking a lot better, and they had 2 like old movies like Twister and something else there, and I didn't go. But for a while, they had a really cool thing going on where you could go there and you could buy popcorn. So we walked down the street this summer and we bought like a large popcorn just to support them, and plus like who doesn't love movie theater popcorn? So we came home and then like a few weeks later, we were like, man, that was really good. We should do that again. So we walked over again and they had a new thing going on where if you bought a gift certificate for $25 to use once they're able to really open up again, you got just this gigantic bag of popcorn. You guys, I'm talking gigantic. Look at your TV screen. It was longer than your TV screen is like long. Like it was a gigantic bag. It took us a couple of weeks to get through it and we did not finish the entire thing. It was so much popcorn, but it was so good. And
nice.
And so like not only are we getting the popcorn, which is that nice experience, but we're, giving to the theater and to try and help them stay open. And now I have a gift certificate that I will hopefully be able to use someday, but if they close, I can't. And that's not an issue for me as far as I have, I gave them $25 and it's gone. It's an issue for me where now that theater isn't there anymore. And that makes me sad.
Right.
And I think we need to support them and try and make sure that even if it's not for another 9 months, as soon as things get better and open up and everyone's okay and we're okay to go to the movie theater again, that it exists, so we're able to.
Yeah, I recently went into my local theater too to grab a large popcorn.
Yeah.
Because it was $2 on Tuesday with the membership.
Which is awesome.
Yeah. And which was also sad because it was like, I don't get a movie with this. I'm just taking it because I like the popcorn, obviously.
Right.
And you're right. It's the best popcorn, movie theater popcorn.
It seriously is.
Yeah. And there's definitely a way you can support. It's a hashtag Save Your Cinema, or go to the website saveyourcinema.com and message your U.S. representatives for Congress, and they have a letter all set for you to just type in your stuff and it'll send it for you.
It's
just
so
as
easy.
a way to get them a bridge till this whole thing's over. And then you can have a theater to come back to. So
exactly.
Hopefully, they get something to just at least remain afloat, like the rest of us. So,
because if we all come back and there's no movie theaters, I'm gonna make a stink. I will be that person.
Yeah, and especially like it's interesting to see when you watch that video on their website, like some of these places they talk about Texas and other places that's all there is to do in some of these towns.
Yeah.
And it's just like, wow, yeah, it makes sense, It's something to do for a few hours. So
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
So that is one really key idea that we wanted to point out.
Yeah.
You know, gift certificates, go to that website that Alan just mentioned, write, you know, your representatives. We got to keep
Save
these...
use the hashtag Save Your Cinema.
Save your cinema. But then, you know, we're all movie lovers here. If you weren't, you wouldn't be listening to us talk about movies all day. Like that'd be weird otherwise. But so we were also thinking, you know, Christmas is coming up and you're movie lovers. And if you're a movie lover, you probably love movie lovers as well. So we were thinking of some really cool, fun, like movie gift ideas for the season to give each other. You know, naturally, first thing that comes to mind, DVDs, Blu-rays.
Yeah.
If you're like me and you still have a VCR, VHSs, you know. I lied. We just got rid of the VCR not too long ago.
No.
But I do still have the VHS tapes, so you know it's a gradual.
Why would you get rid of the VCR if you still have tapes?
Because I was never gonna watch those ever again.
They're just paraphernalia now.
Exactly. It's just a bunch of like Disney movies, really, from when we were kids. And then I also had Sliding Doors, which is a great movie with Gwyneth Paltrow. And then and then I had Dragonheart, and I was like, I refuse to get rid of this because it wasn't available on like Blu-ray or something.
Right.
I was like, I'm not getting rid of my VCR because this is the only way I can watch this movie. And then Jer found it on Blu-ray or DVD and bought it for Christmas last year or something for me, and so now I have it so I can actually watch it outside of the VCR.
Nice.
So then that was my, like, I had to give, he gave me the movie, I gave him the opportunity to throw away the VCR.
Yeah. I mean,
but
you can also give like a 4K TV, you know, huh?
Hey,
An 8K TV.
I mean, and if you're handing out 8K TVs, let me just say,
are you Alan?
Your local podcast co-hosts will never turn that down.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to give generously to the podcast, 4K TV.
Seriously, those things are so fancy.
Yeah.
So fancy. And I feel like they're coming out with such newer, fancier, more complex TVs constantly, so fast, that, you know, in like a year, something that's $30,000 right now might be like $800 next year. And it's like, well, that's way more affordable than,
yeah.
Especially if you then get it on Black Friday, and so you get it like at 50% off or something.
Right.
Man, you just got to keep your eye out on those deals, guys.
Yeah. Well.
And then you found something that was also really cool.
Yeah, there's a book out called Eat What You Watch, and it has like recipes for things that you see in movies, such as like Inglourious Bastards. They had the strudel that they're eating in the French restaurant, or I think it was French, and they're talking about the strudel or something.
Yeah,
but it's the recipe for that, so it's just kind of like, oh, interesting. You can just make whatever they're saying they're eating.
Which is so cool.
Yeah.
And like, so you kind of get like a little bit of a nostalgia feeling, like you're watching this awesome movie that you really enjoy, and then you're also cooking something, so you feel a little more like involved, and it's just a really cool feeling. And plus, you know, gives you something to do, because let's face it, it's cold out. Nobody wants to go outside. You need something to do inside.
Yeah,
you might as well cook some fancy strudel. Yeah,
if you're looking for something interesting to make instead of the same old, make something out of the movies.
Right? Exactly.
It's a cinematic meal.
Yes. And then I found another thing that's really cool. So it's a movie logbook. So it's sort of like a journal, but it's for film critics and movie lovers. So you go through, and as you watch movies, whether you're watching them at home right now or someday when we're able to go back to the theater, you really take a log of the movies that you watch, you know, the title and the date and time, the rating, the genre. You can write some items about the storyline or the plot. if you had like a favorite part or like a quote from the movie, or if you just have specific thoughts about it, how did it make you feel after you watched it? You can put in like a score of the film. So like Dinner for Schmucks, Rahana gives it a 1.2 out of all of the scores. Things like that. But and then you can put in, places for fields for like the director, the cast, the screenplay, and all the different things. If you do go to the movie theater, you can then there's a place for like your ticket stubs to go, things like that. So it's just kind of a little like memory book of some films that you really enjoyed watching, or maybe didn't enjoy watching and you really need to get your thoughts out.
Yeah, nice movie journal or logbook, I suppose.
Right, exactly.
There's definitely like soundtracks, and like you can get them on vinyl, I'm sure now.
Which is so cool.
Yeah, it's.
I love that.
I saw one for Twin Peaks: The Return. It was just so weird because I swear they made that whole. I know that's a show, but
Yeah.
I feel like maybe he only made that for the soundtrack because like it has some really good artists, but it's just like every episode ended with like a concert like thing. It's just so weird.
Maybe that's why he wanted to make it.
Yeah. This was all about the soundtrack. Just admit it.
Yeah.
You wanted the music
That's okay.
rights. That's it.
I still have to watch that. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
It's on my list.
Did you see the first Twin Peaks, like the old ones?
Nope. I've seen 0 Twin Peaks things.
You might want to start with that. And then go to the movie and then to the new series. Yeah.
Okay. I could probably do that. I've got time. We're dialing it back. Another fun idea that I saw a lot of really revolved around the popcorn. So there's all sorts of different really cool sets that you can get, whether it's, just bare kernels, and they somehow are like flavored certain ways or something like that. So you can like make it at home, but it's still going to have like different fancy flavors. Or there are sets of different flavorings you could put on regular popcorn. There's, the big sets of popcorn where it's already popped for you, and it's just like little bags of all these different cool, fancy movie flavors. And there's so many different, like a variety of sets of popcorn, like gifts. And that really revolve around like the movie theater experience popcorn gift set thing. And I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
So if you know someone who loves popcorn and movies, that right there. So
yes, definitely on my list. I like that a lot. I already have that, but
that's okay. Now you can gift it to others too.
And then there's candy sets too and things like that, but like popcorn buckets, so you can specifically put your popcorn in. Which
is really cool. We have an R2-D2 one of those.
Oh, nice. You have R2-D2 I noticed.
We do. We do. Our apartment is very Star Wars centric. So we have Alan is referring to our gigantic I shouldn't say ours, it's not mine. It just happens to be in the apartment. It's a giant life-size, I shouldn't even say life-size, it's bigger than that, R2-D2 in our bedroom. But it was originally like, it's one of those coolers. So you like put like sodas and stuff in there, which is obviously not what we use it for, but so it's a gigantic R2-D2. And then we have the R2-D2 bucket, popcorn bucket. We have like the entire bathroom. So we have Star Wars hand towels. The shower curtain is Star Wars. We have Star Wars pictures on the wall in the bathroom and all over the living room. I have little Beanie Baby Star Wars guys, like a little mini Yoda and R2-D2. My mom just got us a Baby Yoda, like from The Mandalorian, bobblehead.
The child.
Very Star Wars centric. Yeah, that's what it's called. It's called the Child with Cup.
And then you also have,
But,
of course, like anything that Disney makes will have merchandise. So you have your stuffed animals, your action
100%.
figures, posters, T-shirts, you name it. Even things from like Netflix.
Yes.
I have a Stranger Things T-shirt. That's a show.
Which is awesome. Yeah, it is. It's a great show.
If you're into horror, which some of you are, there's of course those masks you can get that are horror genre, like Freddy, Jason, all these things. It's just like, I guess you can do that and freak a bunch of people out at the same time. So
Right. There's also thinking about it more right now. If you go to, and you would have to do this online right now, obviously, but like barnesandnoble.com or something like that, or even if you have like a local bookstore,
half-price
they might
books,
have them or be able to get them. Yeah. Where they have like cool books, whether it's about like specific movies, how they were made. And I'm thinking specifically about like, we have a really cool Batman book, where it's like the whole Christopher Nolan's Batman films, and it like has drawings and designs of like all the different like intricacies throughout the films and how that they like how it sort of developed from what they originally thought it was going to be, certain things were going to be, to what it looks like in the movie. And they have that kind of stuff for all sorts of movies. Ghostbusters, there's they have cool sets where like if you love V for Vendetta, you can get a set that has the mask in it. Like all sorts of stuff. So yeah, like even, if you look for books about movies, whether it's specific films or just film in general, there's so many cool books out there.
I think all those T-shirts are really interesting because like I personally am a fan of all the like made up corporations and all of these, like Umbrella Corporation from Resident Evil to Tyrell from Blade Runner, Tyrell Corp, and all these just evil corporations. But that world building is very fascinating to me.
Absolutely.
And if you're a fan, because movie nerds would know what these things are if they're paying attention to the details. So
yes, there's so many cool things you can get.
I know Cobra Kai is now a series, but it was obviously Karate Kid's movie first, and you can get all those like Miyagi or whatever dojo or something, and Cobra Kai T-shirts and stuff. I think those those are very fun, nostalgic again.
Yeah, absolutely. So we highly recommend gifting the joy of film in some format to your loved ones. And while doing so, again, just to stress, really support your local movie theaters. Let's help try and make sure that they survive everything that's going on, so that a year from now we can be talking about movies we're seeing in theaters and not strictly paying Netflix for everything.
Because they're open 24/7. They got the market on that.
Right.
So
yeah, exactly. But yeah, so let's keep that experience alive, support them. Hey, Alan, can you remind us what that website was one more time?
Yeah, absolutely. SaveYourCinema.com, and write your senators and let them know that you would like to have movie theaters supported if they ever pass another stimulus. So,
boom. I love it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you all for joining us again. Thank you for listening. Thank you for supporting our podcast.
Yeah.
We appreciate it. Just stay safe, stay happy, be thankful, and we will be back soon.
Okay, catch you guys later.